Well, it's a newer, kinder Taliban. By the way, Kane, literally, as we were getting ready to transition to this aspect of the topic, I just saw a new video of the Taliban beating people in the street and screaming at them in Pashtun that they were helping Americans.
Mostly peaceful, though.
Mostly peaceful, relatively peaceful. So listen to this, because they held a press conference and everyone, I just can't believe that they were treating these people like they were, like they were, they had a press conference. So that means that they're not animals. Well, all dogs can do tricks, everybody. Listen to this. This is part of their presser.
It's a question about human rights. Can you give any guarantees whether a woman will be able to go to work? Yes, with regard to the woman, so as I stated earlier, so it will be within the Sharia law, so we will allow them to work within them. Women is an important segment of the society, so in all sectors where the society requires them, they will have active present and they will be within this framework.
Yes, and within the context of Sharia law. That was the Taliban spokesperson, Zabihullah Mujahid, who said that, yes, they can embrace Sharia law. Even Twitter even said this. He said, Twitter said, Taliban say they will guarantee women's rights under the limits of Islam. So it's a mostly peaceful, stripping of women's rights. Under Sharia. Interesting. Under Sharia. People know what that means, right? Do they understand what Sharia law is, how Taliban, how they're going to enforce brutal Sharia law? Women won't be able to leave their homes without a male escort. Women have absolutely no representation at all whatsoever in the courts. Under Taliban rule, you can't play music. There are no cosmetics. You have to be entirely covered all the time, entirely covered. Anytime that you go outside, it must be with permission. You have to have a permission slip signed by a man, or you have to be with a man. Girls can only get so much education. But, I can't believe, honestly, anyone's reporting on this as though they expect the Taliban to keep their agreement any more than the Taliban kept their agreement with the Doha agreement. And the Taliban, don't forget, they believe in their interpretation, their Islamic jurisprudence. They think that it's completely okay, stonings, public or amputations and stonings and hanging people if they're playing music or wearing makeup or anything like that. Now, there's Sharia law in varying degrees in a number of different countries around the world, but make no mistake, in Afghanistan, the last time that they were in power with their Taliban Emirate or Emirate, and that's what they're calling this right now with Afghanistan, very, very different from a caliphate, but that's what they're calling their government again now, and that's what they called it back in 1996, actually, when they were in power. Women always have to be accompanied by a man if they are out and about, and I think with an emergency, you have to have a permission slip signed by a man. If they refuse an arranged marriage, they can have their nose or their ears cut off. If you wear nail polish, you'll get the fingers of the nails that are polished cut off. You're not allowed to show it. Like if a woman accidentally shows an ankle, you might probably going to lose that ankle. This is their Sharia. This is their Islamic jurisprudence. So this idea that the Taliban, this is great. The Sharia. It's not that's just. They try to brush it off as like this kinder, gentler Taliban. That's the way that the media is really ultimately, that's their new spin. The kinder, gentler Taliban. Like I said, I just watched a video of a guy of people being whipped in the streets. A kinder, gentler Taliban that's been going from town to town, village to village, kidnapping young women and girls, pledging them as jihadi brides to their fighters. It's part of their spoils of war. They've been doing this. There's video of them dragging one girl away, so people can't pretend that it's not happening. It's truly stunning. But this is not a single eye blinked when they said that. Not a single eye blinked. It's just unbelievable. I have so many I mean, we can sit here and go back as to, exactly what that meant. What was it, and women don't have rights under Sharia with Taliban. They don't have rights under Sharia. Anyone who thinks so doesn't know what Sharia is. Fun fact. You guys want to hear a fun fact?
Always.
I mean, we do like fun facts, right? One of the people, and I think this was one of the guys who was sitting there on camera too. This is the New York Post. Do you remember back when Barack Obama had that prisoner exchange for Bo Bergdahl, the deserter? Do you remember when you got in trouble for calling Bo Bergdahl, who deserted, a deserter?
Oh, yeah.
And then it came out that he totally did desert. So interesting that when of those 5 people, of those 5 Gitmo prisoners, Taliban commanders that were released from Gitmo in 2014, we were told these enemy combatants, they're going to be transferred to Qatar. You're never going to see them on the battlefield again, except when we were watching the press conference inside the presidential palace in Kabul, because they were recognized by Western diplomats as official representatives of the Taliban during recent peace talks, including, and one of the guys was like, "Yeah, I was in Gitmo." Those guys, that's who we exchanged Bergdahl, the deserter who got soldiers killed looking for him. I told you that's what this exchange was going to go to. I told you then.